Hi, welcome back for another edition of Book Review. If you are new on this channel, I'm Deaconess JoyAnwatu. Today we are here to review another book. And Deaconess Adaeze Cyril is here again to do another review of her book. Deaconess, welcome again. Thank you for coming again.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Okay, remember, like I told you in the last edition, she's a prolific writer. She has written 24 books and she's still writing. And today we are here to review another of her book. And the book we want to review today is The King's Bride. The King's Bride. Adaeze is a product of revchrischristian in writing. She is groomed by revchrischristian, who has written 408 books and is still writing. So she's here to tell us what this book is all about, and she's the author of this book. So Deaconess, let's hear what this book is all about.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank you.
Having me on your platform is an honor. So I am most obliged. Thank you. All right. I am happy to come here again today, and I appreciate Deaconess Joy. It's only God that can reward her.
Thank you.
And I permit me to do this once more, because in line what Shepherd preached on Sunday when he preached the consecration of Melchizedek ordination, I want to recommend this book for everyone every locust or everyone who loves power. Because this is written by Christian, The Power of Consecration. The message was just for 40 minutes, but this book, there is a whole lot about consecration in this book for all of us that loves power. And then I said that this is high tension because Christian writes for the learned minds. He writes high tension. And then this is for the kindergarten. This is consecration by Adaeze.
Wow.
Yes, is for the little ones, the kindergartens, people like us. Is for this one, but it's they are all books on consecration. All right. Today we are doing King's Bride. The King's Bride was motivated by the story of Esther. And then the story of Esther has a lot to teach us in our time. We can't keep talking about Esther in our time when we are already born. All we need to do is to get all we need to get from the story and then make our own story. The book of Esther says that Esther was a slave girl in Shushan, and then eventually she found herself in the king's palace because a queen like her did not know what she knows. It all borders about knowing. Vashti was the king's queen. She was the wife of the queen when Esther was still a slave. And Vashti was a beautiful queen. She was already a queen as at the time Esther was a slave. And then Vashti did something that made the throne to vomit her out, because there's something we call throne ascents. The throne is a place of awareness. It is not a place you stumble. So if you stumble around the throne will automatically throw you out. And that was what happened in the case of Vashti. Vashti was beautiful. She was already a queen, but she lacked the decorum that could sustain her around the palace. Yes, around the throne. She was a queen, but she lacked the character that could sustain her on the seat. And so that provided an opportunity for Esther, a slave girl. You know, when we look at that story, we'll see that Esther was a slave, and we had a better opportunity because we are not slaves. But what we need to learn from Esther is the impartation that made Esther different from other maidens, because the story had it that when Vashti was ousted from the throne, the king's chamberlains and the leaders of Medes and Persia advised the king that virgins, beautiful virgins, should be summoned from the land and then the king will now make choice from among them. Now, all the virgins were virgins, one of the criterias, and they were equally beautiful. And then all of them were subjected to 6 months of oil and perfumes, and then another 6 months of sweet odors, in order to make them worthy to appear before the king. So just to meet a king for one night, these girls were subjected to 1 year of purification process and beauty treatment, a whole 1 year. And then when it was time for them to go to the king, because they will go to the king one after the other, it came to Esther's turn, and Esther, the chamberlain asked her what they could give her. She said anything. Now, the boldness that could make Esther say anything is something that we are looking at. It's something the book is talking about. Now, Esther had the boldness to tell the chamberlain to give him whatever he likes, because she knows that there's something she has that other maidens does not have. And it gives such a boldness when you know that there's something you have that is not with any other person. It gives you such a boldness. And Esther knew that she had what it takes to be the queen in place of Vashti. So she didn't care about whatever that other girls were requesting. And that was how this girl came into the presence of the king when it was her turn. And then she was able to move the king's heart. You know, there's something about king's heart. I said that the kings are saturated with the affairs of the kingdom. They are complicated beings. They are made in ordinance. They are not beings of emotion, because they function from objectivity. And then for you to touch the king's heart, you have to know what. Yes, you have to go extra mile to touch the king's heart. And Esther was able to do it. And we say, what was it that this girl had that other maidens didn't have? What was it this girl had that could move such a mighty king? Because as at that time, Ahasuerus was like king of the earth as at that time. So, and we said that according to Shepherd, because Shepherd is the one that is helping us interpret some of the things that we don't know in the Bible, he said that impartation is everything. We can't play with somebody that is advancing our value. It happened that Mordecai did a job behind the scene. Mordecai imparted Esther, raised her in the manner that she would not miss being a queen. There is a way you raise queens. So Mordecai did a job that the Shushanite girls didn't have. They didn't get that kind of training, because in the book of Galatians, the Bible says that a heir will continue to be the same as the servant, except he be subjected to tutors and governors. So he will be subjected to tutors, and then the governors will bring the discipline of application of what the tutors taught him before he can be qualified to ascend the throne as a heir. So Esther was imparted and raised by Mordecai in a way that she must be a queen. So that day came when what Mordecai put in Esther will match with the demands of the throne. And then Esther won. So all of us who are here in our age, we need an impartation that will make us different from every other person, because it must not be Ahasuerus. It's in our age, we are even the most privileged. So the impartation of our lives is the impartation that should make us worthy to stand before the palace of the last king, to serve in the court of the last king, to serve in the palace of the coming king. And so we need that impartation that will make a queen, so that we don't stumble around the throne. It's not only the biblical book, the biblical story of Esther. It happens also in our homes. The Bible says that the head is the head. So the husband is the head. We have to submit. It boils down, because Vashti couldn't have established righteousness before the king. The king is the god of the land. And then Vashti couldn't separate the one who beholds her nakedness from the one who sits on the throne. The one in the bedroom is different from the god of the land. The one in the bedroom is your husband, but the one on the throne is your God. That one on the throne can kill and make alive.
Exactly.
So we will learn how to separate when a man is a man in the bedroom and when he is not.
Yes.
Particularly those that married presbyteries, like pastors, like men of God, like great men, and everyone because submission is the right key to a man's heart.
Exactly.
When you submit completely, the man will have no option naturally.
You become helpless.
Yes, to go extra mile, to do something you can't even imagine he can do. And we see it in the life of Esther, because even as a queen, he was still submissive to Mordecai. Mordecai was still advising her as a queen. As at the time she was a queen, Mordecai was supposed to be under. Yes, because she's already the queen. But Mordecai was still advising her. Mordecai will give her instruction. Mordecai will say, she will still obey. Mordecai will say, if you don't do something, salvation will come for the Hebrews from outside. But don't forget that you and your father's house will perish. But the guy was still bold, talking to her as that little girl, to a queen. And Esther now took up the consecration of fasting and prayer for 3 days. That is, Shepherd preached about consecration. What could make that queen to do dry fasting for 3 days with her maidens in the midst of abundance of food? A queen left all the way they decorate the dining of queens. Now she wasn't lacking anything, and then she took up that consecration for 3 days without food, without water. And then the God of the Jews manifested. The king, the law of Medes and Persia that could not be touched was touched for the first time. Because like I watched the movie, and then when Esther was coming in, the person that was supposed to slaughter Esther has already raised the spear, raised the sword, and then the king stood up and then showed his staff. It was the staff of the, when he raised his staff, Esther now touched the staff, and that was how she was saved. You know, so that is what and more is in the book.
The King's Bride.
The King's Bride.
Wow, it's very interesting book.
Yeah,
very interesting book. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I also thank you for writing this, because it's very important. You've also made it easier. From what you said, I can be able to, say that it's all about Esther's story. For us to learn from Esther's story. That's what this book is all about. So this book is a must read for everybody, not only young girls, even adults.
Yes.
Even married people, so that they're able to know how to, function in your home.
Yeah.
To be able to separate your husband from your head.
Yes.
Yes. From, like she said, Vashti was spewed out of the land because she was not able to separate the king and the man she married.
Yes.
She wasn't able to separate, and that cost her her marriage.
Yes.
Cost
and
her
seat
queenship too. And Esther took the opportunity because she got ready.
Yes.
So this book also is about impartation. We need to be imparted. It will make us get ready for anything that comes up.
Yes.
Yes. So it's a must read for everybody. This book is very much available at Shekinah Bookshop. So you need to get a copy for yourself and read it very well. So you can get this book at Shekinah Bookshop, which is at Locust Army International Headquarter Church at Ado Road, Aja, Lagos, Nigeria. Or you can call 080-381-38751 to book a copy for yourself. Thank you so much once again, Deaconess Adaeze, for coming.
Thank you so much.
Like I told you from the beginning, she already has 24 books, and she's still writing. She has reviewed this one. She's here. She will still review another one. Thank you once again for coming. I think that will be all for today. We will see you again in our next edition. And before we say bye, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, share this video, and also comment. Thank you. I'm going to say bye for now. Bye. Bye.